Okay guys, so adding surveys to your website is a very nice way to get direct feedback from your visitors, and this will help you generate more leads and even more traffic. But the more modern approach to surveys is to actually make your visitors feel special. And even though there are tons of survey makers out there, this one really caught my attention because it offers what is called skip logic or jump logic. And this is a big one, because you can create tailor-made surveys to really get to know your visitors well. So forget about the traditional one-sided form. Here you can implement conversational surveys and earn your customers' trust. So this is the most important, isn't it? And you can also earn money and generate passive income with, let's say, paid surveys if you wanted to. So all together, this is a great solution to interact with your audience. Now, if you wanted to collect, let's say, data from third-party integration, that's also possible. But you know what? Let me show you. It's probably better. Okay guys, so welcome to Ays Pro extensions. And as you can see, they provide premium WordPress plugins and mainly 4 of them. So what are these? Very simply, we have WordPress Quiz Maker, Poll Maker, SurveyMaker, and also content protection. But today we are mainly going to explore this one here, which is the WordPress SurveyMaker. So as you can see, its price is $39 US, but they also have a free option. Let me show you very quickly, and one at $99 US. So the personal one is free, as you can see here, totally free. And then you have the $39 US, which is the main one, the most popular one. And then you have the business one at $99 US. Bear in mind that this is only a one-time payment, so it's not an annual recurring payment. It's once off and that's it. Okay, once you've paid the $39 US, you can use it freely on your website. What's the difference between those two? Very simply, the partial one is only for one website and you have quite a lot of restrictions, as you can see. But for $39 US, you can get the business version, which allows you up to 5 websites. And as you can see, you have all these options included. Now for $99 US, what's the difference? This is the developer mode. And what's the difference here? Right at the bottom, as you can see, with this one, you will get also summary emails, Stripe integration, and PayPal integration. So if you want to get paid or receive payment automatically as part of the process, this is the option that you need. Okay, so let me show you a few examples here so you can see what it's capable of. So we have this one here. For instance, if you wanted to create a customer satisfaction form or something like this, as you can see, you could have from highly satisfied to highly dissatisfied, and then you can select any of them, and so on. And then you can go to the next one. And then you can maybe have a star rating, and the same here, very easy. You can have a drop-down menu as well, and you can select by images, as you can see, multiple choices as well, and so on. You can even insert a question, you can type a bit of text here. You can select a date field, so let's say 12th of the 12th, 2021, and then you finish then, and this will be submitted and you will receive that in the back end, and you can have a thank you message. Now, something very interesting that they have is what is called a survey with skip logic. So skip logic or LogicJump, it's basically the same thing, So what does that mean? Very simply. So let's say here we can select between 2 different options. So we have car or bicycle. So let me select car here, okay? If I select car, I click next. As you can see, it's going to ask me questions about cars after this, okay? Now let me refresh this page. Okay, and now this time let me select bicycle. So if you select bicycle, you could click next. As you can see, now the questions are different. So you can have different sets of questions following different type of criterias. And this works at any level as well. So if I was to select any of those 2, you could also have 2 different sets of questions afterwards, okay? So this is very, very handy and very unique. So this is called LogicJump functionality. So let me show you another few options here. So you can create a quick survey like this one, which is a bit more conventional. If you click on start, you'll have all the different fields to fill out, which is a bit more conventional, as I said. Or you can have, for instance, something like this. If you click on the start button, you have to enter your email address first. So I'm just going to put something here just for us to test, and then click next. And this is going to bring us to the next screen and so on. So if you click next, as you can see here, you can select each and every option and then fill out your details one by one. And as you can see, this makes it very easy and very intuitive to use for your visitors. Now let me show you how to create and set this up in your WordPress website. Okay guys, so welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So from here, we're going to install our plugin. So for this, we're going to plugins, add new, upload plugin, and you're going to select the file that you downloaded from their website. So let's choose file, and your file should look something like this, you know, SurveyMaker and then the version. And this is a zip file, so you keep it like this, archive, then click open and click install. So as you can see, it is installing the plugin, and now we need to activate it. So click activate plugin. And now that our plugin is installed and activated, as you can see by the side, we have an additional tab here, SurveyMaker, with all the different options. So let's go through all these options one by one. Let me show you how to set this up. So let's go with the first one now, surveys. And from here, as you can see, this is where all your surveys will be stored. So every time you create a new survey, it will be listed up here. Okay, as you can see, we have a sample one here, customer satisfaction survey. So this is a template. And as you can see, it contains 7 questions and 4 sections and no submissions yet. So let me show you how this works. So let's click on this. Let's edit. There you go. So this is where you can create and customize and tweak your surveys. Okay. So as you can see, we have 4 different sections in this one. So if you scroll down, you can see this one is section 1 of 4. Keep scrolling down. You can see this is section 2 of 4 and so on and so on. Okay. So very easy to understand. So by the side here, we have a few different icons. So as you can see, the first one is to add a question. So this will add a question to the actual section where you are. This is to create a new section. This is to import questions, and then is to save your changes. So this is how you create and set the base structure of this survey. So it's made out of sections, and every section contains a few questions. Okay. So for instance, section 1 here contains 1, 2 questions. Okay, so this is question number 1. So how does that work? Very simple. You type your question here and you select the type of answer. So as you can see here, we have a drop down menu, and at the moment it's a yes or no type of answer. So have yes, no, or maybe. Okay, but you could request your visitors to upload a file, maybe request an email address, ask for a name, maybe a matrix scale, date, time, number, etc., etc. You even have star rating. As you can see, they thought of everything. So it's very simple for you to select the type of answer that you request. So at the moment we have yes, no. And as you can see, if you hover on top, you can simply type something else. And then the same here. And if you wanted to add another one, let's click on this. And then you can just type in the extra options. So maybe I don't know or something like this. Okay. So this is how easy you can add an additional item, and you can also remove very easily by clicking the X. So click on this and that's it. It's very easy to remove, isn't it? Now, as you can see here by the side, you can add an image as well to each and every option. So what is this like? Well, let me show you again from our demo here. So basically it's like this one, you know, if you select car, you can have an image of a car. If it's bicycle, you have a picture of a bicycle and so on, you know. So this is where you will add your images. So let's say if I was to select yes, no, or maybe and I add an image, all you have to do is click on it and you can go to your media library or upload an image, and then you can add your image. Okay. So let me just select here, maybe this one here for that. I'm going to select another picture for no, and then another image again for maybe. Okay. So if we save this now, there you go. Now, obviously at some stage, you'd want to see what your form, what your survey looks like. So how does this work? Very simply, let me show you. So you need to insert a shortcode and create a page and insert it and paste it into it. Okay. So as you can see, we have a shortcode text for editor, and this is the one. So what you need to do is just click on it to copy. Okay. And now we're going to create a page. So you're going to pages, all pages, add new. So let's do this in a new page. There you go. And now we're going to call this survey. Okay. Now we can publish. Very good. And now we can add a shortcode on our page. So let's click on the plus sign here. Let's look for the shortcode item, drag and drop. Okay. And now we're going to insert the shortcode that we just created. Click update. Very good. Now let's have a quick preview. So we're going to see this in a new tab. Very good. So this is what our form, our survey looks like. So we can see here we have a customer satisfaction survey. These are the 3 images that we just uploaded. So you can select for the first options, yes, no, or maybe. So let's select yes. And to select, all you have to do is click on the image. And this will bring us to the next step because we only had 2 questions. Remember, we only had 2 questions as part of our first section here. We have first and second question, which is exactly what we have here in front end. We have the first question and then the second question. And then you have to answer those questions before you can go to the next sections, okay? So let's click on next. And now this is bringing us to the part 2 or the 4. So as you can see, it's very easy to follow along for your visitors to go from one section to the other. Okay, so let's go back to our editor here. Okay, so let's insert a new section. So if we click on this icon here, it will add a section. And as you will see, it will automatically add it at the bottom of our survey. So let's click on this. There you go. As you can see, automatically we'll create this as section 5 out of 5. Now, let's say if you wanted to replace section 1 out of 5 with this one. So you wanted to replace this one and put it straight on top of your survey. So how can you do this? Okay, let me show you. So what you need to do basically is to collapse the section, click on this. And as you can see, now you can actually move it around. So if you drag it, and you can drop it wherever you want on your page. So let's drop it on top of our page now. Okay, so just like this, and you can drop it wherever you want it to be. And then you can expand again. There you go. And now we have section 1 out of 5. So this one is replacing our very first one. And now we can create our section and add our questions. So let's give it a title. So section 1, okay. The description goes here. Very good. And then the question you want to ask goes here, just like this, okay? And then we need to select what type of answers you want to receive. So if you use the drop-down menu here, you can see we have radio, checkbox, drop-down. So these are pretty self-explanatory, paragraph, number, date, and time. So I'm not going to explain this here. So basically you can understand very quickly what this is. If you ask for time, this is just the time. If it's a date, it's going to show a calendar and so on. Okay, so let me demonstrate just 2 options here. We have matrix scale and then we have linear scale. So what's the difference between those two? Okay, so let's start with matrix scale, okay? So let me show you from the demo again. So if we scroll back up here, as you can see, this is what this is, okay? This is the type of matrix. So what exactly is a matrix? Very simply, if you look at this survey here, it works on an X and Y axis. So we have one question and different columns. Another questions, 5 different columns, and so on, okay? So if we go back to our SurveyMaker here, as you can see, we have rows and columns as well. So what we're going to do now, we're going to create our row number 1 and then create a few columns, and then I'll show you the result in the front end. So let's replace the row 1 with something. So let's say question number 1, and then you're going to give a multiple choice option here. So column 1, let's create column 1, column 2, column 3, and 3 different options, okay? So let's say we're going to offer 3 different options, maybe 1, 5, and 10 as a scoring, okay? So this one would be 1, this would be 5, and this would be 10, okay? So let's save this. Very good. So as you can see, the survey is now saved. So let's go to our front end and let's refresh our page. Okay, let's reload. So there you go. This is how you can have your multiple choice question right here. So we have row number 1 with our first question, and then you have answer 1, 5, or 10, like we just created it, okay? So let's go back to our SurveyMaker and let's add a few more options. So let's add a second row. So let's call this row number 2, row number 3, and row number 4, and maybe 5 as well, okay? So let me show you the results now. So let's save this. Very good. Now it is saved again. Let's go back to our page and let's refresh. Let's reload the page. Very good. So as you can see, we have row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and multiple choice question answer. Okay? Very easy, isn't it? So this is the matrix scale feature. Now let's go back to our editor here and let's add a new question. So let's add a question just like this. So this is question 2. And this time we're going to select linear scale. So I'm going to show you what's the difference between the two, between matrix scale and linear scale. So this time it's slightly different. Okay, so now we need to select a rating from 1 to a certain amount. So it could be from 1 to 3, right up 1 to 10. So let me select 10 for now. And then I'm going to show you what it does. I'm going to show you the outcome and the output, okay? So we need to select 2 labels. So these would be, for instance, likely or unlikely. Okay, and then let's save this and let me show you what it does. So if we go back to our form here, our survey, and refresh the page, let's scroll down. Now, this is what it does basically, as you can see, you know. So you can actually give a rating and give your opinion and what you think of the service maybe. So you could ask the question here, what do you think of our service? Or are you very likely to recommend our services to someone else? And then they can vote. So am I likely or I'm unlikely? Or maybe I'm average, I'm not too sure. Or whatever scoring they prefer, you know, whichever they want. So let's go back to our SurveyMaker. So a quick recap, our surveys are built very easily. You have sections. Every section is made out of different questions, and every question can have a different type of answers. Okay, and then you can create as many sections as you want, and you can even duplicate them or delete them and move them around as you wish. Okay, so this is about creating our form and surveys. Now let me show you the most exciting feature about this SurveyMaker is the skip logic. So with this, remember at the beginning we were showing this, that if you select car and you continue, you will have questions related to cars. But if you select bicycle and you continue, then it will show a different set of questions. So let me show you how we can do that. So we're going to build this from scratch. So let's take an example here. So let's say question A would be, is it a van or a car? Okay. So if they were to select van, then you would ask them, is it a mover, is it a flatbed, or is it a tipper? If you selected cars, is it a saloon car, is it a 4x4, or is it a sports car? Okay. So let's say this is your jump logic, skip logic type of questionnaire, type of survey. Okay. So let's go ahead with this. Okay, very good. And for this, we go to our SurveyMaker and we're going to create a new one. So add new. So let's give this a title. So which vehicle? Okay, then we can scroll down and take care of our section. So let's give this a title. So maybe car or van. Okay, and then we need to complete our question. So the first question is it a van or is it a car? Okay, very simple. So two different options here. So let's do this. So we have option 1, option 2. So this one will be car, okay? And this one will be van. And now we can add an image for both of them. So let's add an image for the car. So let's select this one here. And we do the same for the van. So let's select this one. So just like that, basically, okay? Now, if you scroll down the page a little bit, you can see with those three dots, if you click on this, you can select LogicJump. So this is the important part now, okay? It's just to define what's going to happen once your visitors have selected either of those options. So if you click on this, as you can see, you can select what will follow after this. So what would you want them to do? What will happen? So if you click on this, you can see you can go to section 1, which is the one we have at the moment, or continue to the next section, or submit form. So obviously, since we only created one section at the moment, you cannot redirect to another section yet. So what we have to do now, before we can complete this task, is to create two other sections. So we need to create a section that will follow after the car, which is this one here. And then we need to create another section that will be this one here. Okay, so let's do that together now. So we go to the next one. We're going to add a section. And this one will be called van, okay? And in our van section, we have three options. So what are these three options? As we can see, we have the movers, flatbed, and tipper. So let's change this now. So just like that. And now we can add an image for each and every option. So let's do that together now. So just like that, basically, as you can see, now we have a picture for movers, flatbed, and tippers. So now let's do the same for cars, okay? So let's create a new section again. Add new. This one is called car, and we're going to add three different options, and we're going to rename them. There you go, just like that. Now we have saloon, 4x4, and sports. And again, we're going to add an image for each one of them. And there you go, just like that, basically. So each one has its own picture now, okay? And now we can go back to question number 1 and actually create our skip logic, jump logic, okay? So as you can see, if we selected cars, you can now go to the section that says car, which is section number 3. And we do the same for vans. Now we go and select van, okay? And now if we scroll down the page, now we can save. And let's have a quick look at what it looks like in the front end. So if we go to our survey page, as you can see now, we have car or van. So you have to select. So if you select car and I click next, as you can see, I can select which type of car. Now if I refresh, reload the page. Now if I select van, go to the next page, as you can see now I'm presented with different vans. And there you go, guys. This is how you can create skip logic surveys. Okay, very good. And now let me show you one last thing, how you can customize the color scheme as well on your survey. So let's go back here, and as you can see, we have styles. So right there on top, you have the classic light, which is exactly what we have here. So it's a white background and then a bit of a color all around the edges. Okay, now you can select something else, maybe classic dark. So if I was to do this and save, let me have a quick refresh here. Now, as you can see, it's going to be slightly different. There you go. Still very professional looking, you know, depending on your preferences again. You might prefer a darker background. Now, if you wanted to change those colors all together to match your branding and your logos maybe, and your company colors, you can do that very easily as well. So as you can see here at the bottom, we can select our own colors. So let's do this together. So let's say instead of orange, let's select the blue maybe, okay? A blue shade like this, perfect. And as a background, we're gonna select maybe a lighter gray, maybe something like this, okay? So now scroll down the page, let's save, and let's have a quick refresh. So let's refresh this page, reload, very good. So there you go, guys, it's very easy, isn't it? So you can easily change your colors just by using those settings here in the backend. Okay, so let's say now if someone has completed the survey, what do you want to do with the content of the data and the information received? Do you want to send an email confirmation to your users? If this is the case, tick this box. And if you want to receive one as well, tick this box here. And then all you have to do is just to fill out your details in this section here. So basically something like this, okay? So just put your email address, your name, and then the subject of the email, and then repeat your email address and your name right here. Then scroll down the page and click save. And that's it. And then if you want to use third-party integration, all you have to do is click on this tab here. And as you can see, you can select among all these different options. So you have all the most popular ones like MailChimp, Slack, Google Sheet, Zapier, GetResponse, ConvertKit. Just all of these are well known, you know, even PayPal and Stripe. So all of these can be integrated very easily using APIs straight into your SurveyMaker. So there you go, guys. This was a quick overview of the main features of this SurveyMaker. So let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this solution? I think it's great, but especially the skip logic, the jump logic feature, what do you think? Again, let me know in the comment section. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.